Hello class, I'm Petar Krejcik, and today I'm going to give you guys a little rundown on my study that I did for our class. And to get it started off, the main theme of my study was leadership positions and like the certain traits and characteristics that define a good leader for sports. And the main sport that I talked about and focused on was soccer, but I also got a little in-depth look in other sports to see how things meshed up and how leadership was affected from sport to sport. To begin, the definition of leadership that I found is the actions of leading a group of people or an organization. This is key because, like in almost everything in life, especially sports, there's someone that's going to take and go head on with some, if it's a meeting or a company or like I said, a sports team. Someone's going to have to take leadership and do what they have to do to have the whole group or the organization thrive all together. And also in this study, I focused on not only coaches, but on players as well, because coaches obviously are the leaders of their team, but also players, captains, or other players that just are more vocal and take ownership of their team. They all have this like a role to play in how a team formulates and gets results together. Some of the characteristics and traits that I found is that show that leadership styles that coaches choose to implement revolve on the type of athlete, type of sport, cultural background, or whether it's an individual sport or it's a team sport. And that's especially evident in soccer, as when you look in Europe and any soccer team that there's maybe 10 different people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different countries. And it's important to know that not every country, not every person reacts to criticism or anything you tell them in the same way. So you have to revolve around how those people think, and you can't treat everybody the same way. One person you give them backlash or you yell at them. Some person you have to be more calm and calm them down and give them more freedom to do what they want. So the main trait that I would say is the key is for my research was resiliency. You have to be able to understand that you got to look into every situation with an unbiased and unbalanced and a balanced view of the situation. In every leadership position, especially in sports, situations arise and require an unbiased evaluation of the situation in order to have success for the team. And obviously that's the top goal for every sports team and every company is to get the most success that you can possibly have. According to the Psychological Association, the definition of resiliency is the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or significant sources of stress. And that is obviously the key to which I found in my study, which I've said probably 2 times already, but I cannot say how important it was, how many times I saw in my research that was like the main thing, the thing that I saw like over and over again that was evident that it was important. Learning and engaging in change, growth and development, utilizing problem-solving skills and being flexible psychologically all develop further your resiliency. And that's important for a coach or any type of leader, is that when things go bad, things go wrong, it's the person who's not fazed, the person who doesn't go down under pressure, the person that comes out on top and has a clear head. That's what you need to be a leader. And that's what the study showed. And then this this next trait is pretty obvious. You probably hear it all the time, but it's like most successful leaders share the personal trait of having a passion for what they do. And getting optimal results as a leader, as a coach, your passion towards your goal is essential. And you can see that people in life, what they like to do, that's the thing that they thrive in the most. People who work their normal jobs or that don't like what they do, they just go about their day, just basically sleeping through their day. So if you're a coach, you're a leader, it's important, essential that you love what you do. And You probably heard it. Everybody's heard it 100 times. The next thing is I found that there's two main types of coaching traits. And the first one is autocratic coaching, which is when a coach makes independent decisions and puts major emphasis on personal authority. And democratic coaching, which is the opposite and allows players to be involved in the decision-making process when it comes to strategies, goals, and methods. And obviously, as a coach, you kind of want to be in between both of them. But as a coach's own mentality, own personality, that has a lot to do with what kind of coach they are. If you're a more of an agreeable person or you're more of an unagreeable person, that's probably going to shape what kind of coach you are. And neither one or the other is like the key to success or the magic recipe. Either one is good if you do it like the correct way. Going in, the methods and how I was gonna get the correct research and the data to prove what kind of coaches and get the best results through their methods and personal traits is I was gonna take qualitative and quantitative data. And through the quantitative data, I was gonna get it through, I would create a survey, and I was gonna have a sample size around 200 people, around 100 players and 100 coaches from ages 18 on to 60. The survey I was gonna create basically it's gonna have a lot of not open-ended questions, but ask players, coaches questions about how they lead, how they talk to their players, what kind of just general questions, trying to figure out what kind of personal characteristics they present and what results they get through what they practice. And then for the qualitative data, I was gonna conduct personal interviews with all the players and the coaches. And for this, it was more important than the research because talking to someone's a little different than someone filling the blanks and whatnot. So you can ask questions and they can have more than just a quick response that you give them. So you got to kind of get a more in-depth view and in their mindset and everything like that. The analysis, I'm going to take in the qualitative part, just trying to find commonalities of what people say. If they say the same thing as if 50 people say the same thing as each other, then I can make deductions of whether maybe that's a good way to lead, or is there a specific way that gets more results through leadership. And through the quantitative, just put all my responses together for the research for the survey, and figure out if people had majority of the responses are the same, and maybe I can make some more deductions through that. Through the analysis part, it was just basically looking back and to see if I could find conclusive evidence, which it will be pretty difficult looking into it, because as a sample size of 200, going through all those interviews, going through all those surveys, it would be a difficult thing to do. But as taking all the participants' answers, I would find the mode of the answers to find the significant statistical evidence. And so basically that concludes my research paper. And thank you guys all for watching.